Excellent. Awesome, Tracy. Excellent. We are live. Welcome, ladies, to what's supposed to be Wednesday Real Talk, but it's on Thursday due to lovely technical difficulties, which many of us have faced over this past year with the Zoom world. Isn't it interesting, actually, Tracy, how right now in this season, it's like, oh, technical difficulties. I guess we just have to reschedule. And like, like a year ago, that would have been like, oh, and now it's like, whatever.
We all know.
It's so, but we're live. I'm going to double check. Yeah, we're live. We're good. Okay.
Awesome.
Welcome. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so excited for today's guest. Tracy Rodriguez is a corrective exercise specialist, and she specializes in helping professional women overcome chronic pain when nothing else has worked. And for all of us that, we're moms here, so we understand how our bodies can be affected by not only stress and sitting at a desk all the time, but also by childbirth and all that fun stuff too. And so I'm just so excited for this conversation today and really talking about maybe something that we aren't always aware of, or we are aware of and we just pop a pill to help with it instead of getting to the root of what's going on. And I think this is an important conversation to be had. So welcome, Tracy, to the Thriving Business and Motherhood room.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here.
So tell us
so excited to be here. Yourself. Yeah. So like you said, I'm a corrective exercise specialist. I'm a mama of two. I have a 5-month-old and I have a toddler. So I understand what the body goes through firsthand when we have babies. And I also run my own business. So I can relate to a lot of the women in here that it's a busy, busy life. Back in 2014, I was hit by a semi-truck and I was disabled in bed for about a year with chronic pain. And I went to the chiropractor, I went to the physical therapist. Nobody could touch it. Nobody could heal it. So I just decided to become a CES and heal myself. And here I am. And that is just a testament to, people who have back pain, who have neck pain, who think that it's the norm, that it's just life. I am like running around waving my flag. That is not life. That is not necessary. And you don't need to live with it. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You were in an accident with a semi-truck.
Yeah.
And were disabled from that.
Yeah.
And now you have a toddler and a 5-month-old and you're running your own business and completely healed.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I want to be clear really quick when I say that flare-ups still happen. Flare-ups do happen, but that now I know what to do with them so that they go away instead of becoming something worse. So I like to say that when I say completely healed. Yes, completely healed with flare-ups, maybe once or twice a year. But that's kind of how people can know that you can get past that point and still be pain-free.
I think that's a really interesting point, actually, that when we go through an event, a trauma, and here's the thing, ladies, we all have a trauma, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, right? Like we've all experienced trauma in our life to one extent or another. And for most of us, like we go through a healing process, but we are triggered, right? And I love how you said flare-ups still happen, but I know how to deal with them now. And I think that's true of anything that we experience in life, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental. Like we do get triggers that cause a flare-up of our pain. And the difference from that sense of just survival mode or victimization to truly thriving with joy and freedom is having the tools to deal with that. And you are a specialist in the tools for physical pain. So what is it that you have prepared for us today? What do you want to share on?
I want to share tips for being pain-free when you're working at your desk, because I think a lot of us, especially if we're running businesses with COVID, I feel like that was just like a deep dive into sitting at our desks, 10 hours a day. And that's going to lead to pain, no matter who you are. You could be, I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know why I thought of him, but you could be anybody. And you would get pain from Southern
California. So
I actually live in Portland, but in the same area.
Why did I think you were in California? Oh,
same area, DNW. Yeah.
Portland, Oregon, which is, by the way, amazing. And I love that area.
Yeah. But anybody sitting at their desks, it's going to happen. We're going to get back pain or stiffness. We're going to get neck and shoulder tension. So today I'm talking about how to get rid of it, how
Okay.
to avoid it. Yeah.
So can we start with, obviously, we're all familiar, we're all sitting at our desks right now. What, in your opinion, is kind of causing some of that tension and pain that we experience when we're working from our desk, looking at our computer all day?
Yeah. So if you're sitting, even though we're not moving when we're sitting, sitting is considered what's called a repetitive motion. Standing multiple times a day for long periods of time, that's a repetitive motion. Even sleeping, that's considered a repetitive motion. So the more that we do something, our muscles are always listening. Our muscles are always learning. So if we're sitting 8 hours a day, what are your hip muscles doing? They're learning that instead of being this length, they're supposed to be this length because they're in a shortened position while they're sitting. What are your glute muscles, which are supposed to be stabilizing you and keeping you pain-free? What are they learning? They're learning because you're in that seated angle, your glutes are lengthened, so they're learning to stay at this length. So your muscles are always listening to you. You're always talking to them. And they're learning to stay that length and to pull your joints and vertebrae out of position, and it creates muscular imbalances. So it's really important that when we're doing these repetitive motions, we're doing them in a way that does not harm us and that helps prevent that as much as possible.
Oh, that's fascinating. I know for me, I've always dealt with underactive hamstrings. My hamstrings are very tight, and my glutes have always overcompensated. I remember working with an exercise therapist about that, and now that was like probably 15 years ago, but I remember that was very significant. Does that have something to do with sitting?
I would assume that you have a pelvic tilt, which absolutely has to do with sitting. So when we're seeing the glutes have overactivity or underactivity, when we're seeing the hamstrings being pulled tight, that's usually because the pelvis is either tilted one way or the other a bit. And that can pull the hamstrings. Yeah, it totally affects childbirth. It affects positioning of babies. It affects so many things. Yeah. And it's so common. It's what I call the mama tilt. Having a pelvic tilt, it's the mama tilt. Because having a baby in your stomach creates like this new way of holding your weight, which shifts things around quite a bit.
That's really fascinating. I actually have had it my whole life, and it did affect childbirth. Well, more affected than being able to find my cervix, but that's another story.
And most of this is like, we have genetic predispositions for this. So a lot of this starts when we're born, but then it's the repetitive motions that form it over time that make it get worse. And especially if you have trauma to the body, or if you have a baby in your belly, all of those things just kind of worsen the issue to where it becomes a real, problem that now we're noticing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. So why is this important then for us to be addressing and be aware of, especially working from home, and especially as moms even?
Yeah. I think it's so important that we realize how much energy gets zapped when we have pain. I don't know if many people have really thought about it when they're in pain in their back or their shoulders or their neck, or maybe it's just tension. It zaps so much of our creativity, of our joy, of our ability to pour into our families, of our ability to pour into our business. It zaps so much out of us that we don't even realize. It's kind of like that fatigue that we don't realize is there until we don't have fatigue anymore. So when you're sitting there and you're dealing with pain, it may feel like something you should just keep pushing through because it doesn't matter. But I'm here to say, stop pushing through it. It does matter. It takes so much from your life that you don't even realize. So much energy, so much that you could be giving, and so much that you could be receiving as well without pain standing in the way. And then the other thing I'll say is, when you're having those warning signals, I call them the check engine light of the body. So if you're having the warning signals that something is hurting, it will probably get worse. So that's another thing I'll say is, usually we wait until it gets bad. So we're like, oh yeah, I have back pain, but it's not that bad. I'm fine. I'm just going to push through it. And then 3 months later, we're at the chiropractor and we're like, oh, it's so bad. I don't know what happened. we feel like it's out of our control, when really it's not. We just need to listen to the whispers that our body is telling us to stop, change something before it gets worse.
Right. So I think I know for myself, you know, I'm probably so used to the whispers that I don't even hear them anymore. Or
Yeah.
I've, you know, when you don't even hear your kids anymore, and then someone comes over and they're like, "How do you live in this house that's so loud on your mom?" And you're like, "It's loud? What?"
What's
So
happening? Yeah.
what? How can we? I like to say, like, you know, as a mindset transformation coach, awareness is
Hmm.
always the first step to transformation.
Totally.
So how can we raise our awareness of those whispers
Yeah.
and those things that we're so used to that we don't even hear anymore? What are some ways that we can become more aware and more in tune with what our body's telling us?
This is the biggest piece of coaching when people start my program. It's the biggest piece.
Fantastic.
And what people usually say is the first week, they're like, I feel so much more pain than I'm used to feeling because I'm actually paying attention. Like,
Sure.
it's not because it's increased, it's because they just stopped listening to their bodies, which, by the way, I'll just say, how sad is that we live in a culture that's really cut off our relationship with our bodies, where we are just saying to our bodies, whatever, I don't care what you're telling me, I need to push through, you don't matter. Like, I think that's like so much trauma mindset that's played into our lives. Like, I personally have dealt with it, and it's just so sad to think about my body, that it's been ignored. You know what I mean? So a big piece of this is regaining that relationship and connection to our bodies, and basically saying, you're talking to me, I love you, I respect you, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen to what you say and trust that it actually means something. Because I think so many times our bodies talk to us and we don't believe our bodies. We basically say, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're saying, it doesn't matter. I can push through it.
I
And
love
then something bad happens.
I love what
Yeah.
you
So
said there. Like, it's about loving our bodies. Ladies, this is an exercise in learning to love yourself.
mhm,
Truly, when we start listening to ourselves and listening to what our bodies are, because here's the thing, we only have one body, and it's through
yeah,
our body that all things are done.
yeah.
And this is practical self-care and growing in self-love right here.
It's so true. I got chills when you said that. Got chills. Yeah. So a big piece of that is just listening. I mean, it's really as simple as that. It's as simple and it's as difficult as that, because it's surprisingly really hard to listen to your body talking to you and to do what it's asking you to do. If it's asking you to get up in the middle of, like, you're in the zone, you're doing your marketing, you're doing whatever you're doing, it's surprisingly very hard to listen. So that is a big piece of the mental component of our coaching when people work with me is, we need to get past that and to actually listen, love, and respect your body when it talks to you.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Listen, what did you say? Listen, learn, and to love our body. Is that how you put it?
Listen, trust. I don't know what I said.
Okay. We'll catch that on the
We'll
replay.
go with it. Yeah.
Rewind and listen again.
Rewind.
I love that. Okay. Awesome. So the first step, of course, is listening.
Mhm.
Listen.
Yeah.
Oh, love that. And I know you have a couple really important tips here. So obviously, number one we hit here is learn to listen to what
Yes.
your body, and then respond to it and do
Yeah.
what your body's telling you. What's the next step here? What else is really important in this conversation?
So I think that when you respond to it, it's important in how you respond to it. It's important that you know what to do, because it doesn't mean go lay down. It doesn't mean, okay, well, I'm done with work for the day. I mean, listening to it is the first step, but then knowing what to do is the second. So I would recommend changing positions. So a lot of people have sit to stand desks, but they still don't change the positioning when they feel that fatigue setting in. So they don't listen to the whispers before they become the yells. So I would say when you're at your desk, you feel your back pain setting in, you feel something going on, stand up, move around a little bit, go get a glass of water. Movement is healing. Movement brings blood flow. So they have this saying, motion is lotion. And so if you're moving,
Say that again.
motion is lotion.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So if you're moving, you're getting blood flow to the area, and that is healing within itself. So, part of the reason that we're having pain, we're sitting long periods of time, we're not moving, circulation slows. So we don't have that release of blood to heal the area. So get up and move. I would say, talk with somebody. I am always happy to talk with people about what would be appropriate for ice and heat therapy for the issue, for the specific type of pain, because it does vary. You can rest, but don't rest for too long. Just, go lay down for a few minutes, but come back up. Don't stop moving. And then also self-myofascial release, which is my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Okay, we need to talk about that, but I want to back up one quick second. What I heard there is so often I think we revert to rest, and you're like, no, actually, the key here is movement.
Yeah.
And I think for many of us, and myself included, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to go rest, but
yeah,
I really should just go for a walk.
That feels good.
Yeah.
I want to emphasize that movement that feels good. And that's part of what the piece of the puzzle is like finding movement that feels good for your body. Because if you go for a walk and you feel your back pain and you're like, oh, but Tracy said, go for a walk. We don't want that. We want movement that does not cause additional pain, movement that makes things get the blood flow, but also feels good for the body.
Okay, that's important. Whether that's, and that could be stretching, that could be, maybe some gentle yoga, maybe it's going for a walk, whatever that looks. It could be just swaying. Swaying. Oh my gosh, there's a reason we sway when we're in labor, right?
I have clients who do that. They just stand up or they get on their knees if they feel good on their knees, and they just do movement for the hips and they just try to get blood flow in.
Love that.
Simple.
Okay. So
quick.
Ladies, movement that feels good, that doesn't exasperate your pain. Yeah. We don't have to push through the pain.
No pain, no gain. That's not real. That's not real when it comes to healing chronic pain or healing tension or pain.
I love that. Cool. And then you said myofascial release. What? Yeah. Do tell.
So self-myofascial release is magic. It's so beautiful. It's so powerful. And so many people that I work with, they get healing from that. Like 50% of the healing they experience is from self-myofascial release. So
what is that?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're using different tools throughout the body with those angry, overactive muscles. And it's basically like trigger point therapy or like this really deep massage. And so what we're doing is we're using different tools to press into sore spots in the muscle, avoiding bone and avoiding pain, or not avoiding pain, avoiding bone and avoiding nerve. So we're pushing into sore spots with, a lacrosse ball or a different tool like that. And we're holding it there for 30 seconds. And so what's happening there is you're breaking up the fascia that's pulling those muscles out of position, that's causing the knots, that's causing the vertebrae to be all compressed and pulled out of place. And then you're also having lymphatic drainage. You're bringing blood flow to the area. You're breaking up knots and adhesions. And it teaches the nervous system. This is the most important piece. It teaches the nervous system to relax the muscle, and it learns over time to keep it relaxed. So the more frequently you're doing this, your nervous system is, again, always listening to you. So the more frequently you do this, your nervous system is saying, oh, I'm not supposed to use you this way. I'm supposed to use these muscles. And it's a huge shift for the body out of pain into feeling good.
I love that. So so someone's like, okay, that sounds all well and good, but how on earth do I do that?
Yeah. So it is a little bit complicated. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to deep dive into that today. I do have a Facebook group where maybe we can mention that at the end, where people can follow for tutorials. Because I literally give tutorials for every angry muscle throughout the body, every single one, because I'm just so passionate about let's get every muscle taken care of here.
Right. So ladies, there is tutorials in Tracy's Facebook group, which is called
Work Pain-Free Community.
Work Pain-Free Community. We will drop the link because you need to check these tutorials out. Okay, so tell us, so what is the Coles Note version of how someone might, is there any tools that they need? How does that work?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I would say is get a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. That's going to be gold. And then have a blank space in your wall.
Okay.
I would just say, especially if you have back pain, let's just talk about that for a second. Here's your spine. Along the sides of your spine is your erector spinae. It's a group of muscles that gets really tight. And maybe you've even felt this group of muscles before when you sit. This erector spinae is usually overactive when we have a pelvic tilt. So what we would do is we would go up against the wall. Here's my pretend ball. I would put that onto my erector spinae. It's kind of like a tube muscle that you'll feel on the outside of your spine. Avoid bone, avoid nerve. And then you would put that ball right there in between your back and the wall. You would just do a little tiny side by side movement, little tiny up and down movement, and
Mhm.
hold for 30 seconds when you find a sore spot. And then I would just go spot by spot by spot, all the way up that muscle group, all the way up the back. And then I would just go to your upper shoulders. So in between the shoulder blades, all the way up. And it is, if done correctly and if done frequently, it's a game changer.
That's fascinating. I might have to start doing that because,
Yay.
like right, my neck and my shoulder always tight. And, I've had back pain for years and not recognizing, like now that I know now, it's like light bulbs are going off for me, lady. Pelvic tilt and back pain. And I'm like, oh, that explains everything.
Yeah, I know. That's how it is. That's how it is. It's so connected. And that's what so many of my assessments are. It's just like light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Like, this is why this hurts. And it doesn't have to be that way. Absolutely.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, this is so important. Oh my, like I'm having oh my gosh moments. I know you guys are too. So
I'm loving it.
amazing. This is amazing. Like, it's so simple.
I know.
So simple.
I know.
Our
So
bodies are
simple.
magic. They're so amazing.
What's that?
Our bodies are amazing.
I know. They really are. You're so right. It's so simple. It's amazing what our bodies can do. And I feel like the way that our pain relief industry is designed is to be totally reliant on others. We're lacking education. We're lacking the resources to be able to take care of this ourselves. We're in this cycle where we go to the chiropractor, which I love chiropractors. I love all of these resources. I love them. But the way that the system is set up is we're just in this cycle, never ending, and it won't change. And that's what I love to stop, to end that cycle and give the education, give the tools, resources that you can use my services for a little while. You can use others, but let's set it up so you don't have to use them long term, so that you can have the tools and education. So these light bulb moments, they're my favorite because it's like, oh, that's what's happening. I can actually know my body, know how to heal it, and know how to listen to it moving forward so that it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's an important part, ladies, is that our bodies are actually designed to heal itself.
Yeah.
Like, can we just take a moment and honor that? Your body has been created to regenerate and heal.
Love it.
Like, your body has been created to regenerate and heal. Your mind has been created to regenerate and heal.
Yeah.
Like, our bodies are constantly being recreated. We know scientifically that our skin sheds, what is it, every 3 months? Like, we have new skin constantly, and illness and sickness and dis-ease can be healed when we reconnect with the divine order within ourselves. And I think that's really important. And by getting the education that we need to connect our minds with our bodies again, because we have been grown up in a society that has disconnected our intuitive nature and has disconnected this sense of knowing ourselves and trusting ourselves. We've been taught to trust everything outside of ourselves, as you said. And so I love the work that you're doing, Tracy. I think this is so important. So important.
Thank you.
So I know I've been blown away, and I know that these ladies have been as well. So first of all, do you have any gifts for these ladies? Like, how can they get in touch with you? How can they connect with you? Please let us know.
Yeah. So like I said, I have that free group that they can join. And I really like that to be a way to serve and to give value and to give education on how to heal yourself. So no matter who you are, I want to make sure that if you have pain, you can look at these tutorials, you can look at this education, and you can get some life change. And I've had some people who just tried one of the things and they were like, oh my gosh, I don't have pain anymore. Like, that's so weird. And it's so much fun to see. So that's the first thing I would say is if you have pain, go there. I would love to support you. I'm very relational there. I really like to kind of investigate what kind of pain you're having and then make tutorials for you. So that's a great space.
And what
then
was
I
the
also
group again? Say that again.
It's the Work Pain-Free Community.
Work Pain-Free Community. And we'll make sure we drop the link here as soon as we're done live. And then how else can the ladies get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can DM me, Tracy Rodriguez, CES on Instagram. It's Tracy Rodriguez, CES. You can DM me there to, ask questions, to do a complimentary consultation. I do offer those. So yeah, I would love to connect. And then you can also look at my program that I offer with physical therapists on staff, ergonomists on staff to help your pain-free work environment be working for you, as well as CES is on staff with like a full video program, as well as weekly sessions. It's amazing. And you can check that out, www.workpainfreeprogram.com.
www.workpainfreeprogram.com, and we will drop that in the comments as well.
Awesome.
Oh, Tracy, seriously, this has just been like light bulb after light bulb. And,
Hey.
Especially, again, I'm sitting at my desk right now, right?
Yep.
And just that pelvic tilt, like mind blown. And so ladies, here's the thing, like our bodies are amazing. They've created children and birthed children. And now we're using our body to not only raise our children, but grow a business. And we need to honor that body and learn about her again. I love what we said right at the beginning, that learning to listen to your body is a form of self-care, and it's learning to love yourself again.
Yeah.
So this has just been so powerful. Thank you. Do you have any
wonderful
thoughts for the ladies today?
I think that my biggest parting thought for you would be that you have more purpose than you realize. You have so much in store for you, so much inside of you that the world needs. And if there's anything, any check engine lights in your life of things that need to change, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, if there's a check engine light that something needs love in your body or in your life, something needs attention and care, listen to it, because pushing past it depletes what you can offer to the world. It takes away, but listening to it actually, like, it just spurs on what you have to offer, and your purpose and what you can offer to the world just really accelerates. So listen to what your body and what your heart and your mind tell you.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for that. Ladies, listen to your heart, your body, and your mind. I love that. Well, Tracy, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, your amazing wisdom. Thank you for sharing with the Thriving Business Mama community. This has just been such a treat. And ladies, this has been Wednesday Real Talk on a Thursday. It's all good. And I cannot wait to come back next Wednesday with you guys and bring another amazing guest. And by the way, if you would like to be featured on Wednesday Real Talk, you can DM me, Jessica Fox. I am happy. I'm looking for guests, and I want to just shine your brilliance just like we shine Tracy's today. So ladies, I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will catch you guys soon. See you later.